The candidates and issues on the ballot will have an effect on your future. Consider your choices carefully, then go out and vote. Here to tell us why your vote can make a difference, please help me welcome Ken Smith with Why Voting Matters. Why Voting Matters, Ken Smith.
On that title, I would like to put one of those little marks that mean insert a word here and put informed in there. Why informed voting matters, why your informed vote matters. The reason for that, a few years ago, a student at the University of Texas in Houston decided to do a survey to find out how good propositions really are, letting the people vote on specific issues. And the student went out and interviewed 50 people. He wanted to know if the state should ban dihydrate monoxide. And he gave some very compelling reasons to ban it. One, it is extremely corrosive. It'll even eat through steel. Two, if you breathe it, you can die. Three, in its gaseous form, it can cause very severe burns. And four, it was a major component of acid rain. Well, 43 of the 50 people said, yes, I'll sign a petition to ban dihydrate monoxide. 6 people said, no, I would not, and 1 was undecided. Dihydrate monoxide, water. So if all you hear are the paid pros and cons, very selected information, you're going to get a very distorted view of what the issue is. We really need to study not just what the wording of a proposition or what a candidate stands for, but background as well. What other information is available? Because we all have to live under the laws that are passed. And yes, one vote can make a huge difference. In 1645, one vote made Oliver Cromwell, gave control of Oliver Cromwell to England over the king. And 4 years later, one vote allowed Oliver Cromwell's rump legislature, which means they've taken away everyone who supported the king and knocked them off for legislator, and the rest of them voted to behead King Charles. And that happened in 1649. Thomas Jefferson was elected by just one vote in the House of Representatives after a tie in the Electoral College in 1800. I'm going to give you a list of many one vote matters type points, but I'm just going to talk about a few of them first. Locally, almost locally, Moraga, in the 1950s, there was some 3 open seats on the school board, and no one signed up for it until the very last day. Then a man, his wife, and his son each signed up for one of those seats. People didn't much care. Someone was there to take care of their needs. That board embezzled Moraga into bankruptcy, and those 3 have never been seen again, never been caught. You have to look at what really is going on. You have to pay attention. The 19th Amendment, giving the women the right to vote, was passed when Tennessee approved it by a single vote. They were the 36th state to ratify. So there are many things that really affect us, not just right now, right here, but our children, our grandchildren, for generations are affected by many of these things. More recently, 2008, in Minnesota, Al Franklin was finally, 8 months later, sworn in as senator after a contested battle with Norm Coleman. Norm Coleman had been the sitting senator, and at the end of the night of election, Norm Coleman was ahead by 225 votes. But after a lot of recounting and certification by the Secretary of State of each of the recounts, which unfortunately or fortunately, depending on your point of view, gave, if Norm Coleman gained in a specific district in a recount, the original count was what was counted. If Al Franklin gained, the recount is what was counted, and eventually Al Franklin did win by 312 votes and was certified and became the last vote needed to pass the Affordable Care Act, which we all live under now. So I'm happy to pass out this sheet that will let each of you see many, many other instances of how one single vote has made a big difference. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Smith. Fascinating